I know that Philip is talking. So then I ask myself, well, what is it that Philip is saying? What words are coming out of Philip's mouth? So then I look at the rest of the sentence and it says, I think we're going to the movies. This is the dialogue of the sentence. This is what Philip is actually saying. So when we find the dialogue part of the sentence, this is where we're going to add our quotation marks. So we always put quotation marks in front of the dialogue, and then we put it behind the punctuation mark at the end of the dialogue. And if you notice here, this sentence already has a comma, and we're always going to put a comma to separate what we called the speech tag from the dialogue. So let's look at another example. Remember, two parts, the dialogue, the speech tag. The speech tag tells us who is speaking in the sentence. That's what I always like to look for first. So the sentence says, my vote goes to Belinda, said George. Well, who is it that's talking in the sentence? Well, I see George. So I know that said George is the speech tag, which means it's not the dialogue. So what did George say? What words came out of his mouth? My vote goes to Belinda. So this is my dialogue. This is where I'm going to put those quotation marks. So we put them in front of the dialogue. And again, there's that comma that separates the dialogue from the speech tag. We're going to put those quotation marks behind that comma. All right, let's go through one more example. Robert asked, what time is it? So I find that speech tag first. Who is it that's talking in the sentence? Well, I see Robert asked. So this is going to be my speech tag. Well, what did Robert ask? What did he say? He said, what time is it? This is my dialogue. So I'm going to put quotation marks in front of the dialogue. And again, since this is the end of a sentence, there's that punctuation mark. I'm going to put quotations behind, behind the dialogue, behind the punctuation mark. And again, there's that comma that separates the speech tag from the dialogue. Now, if you look below, there are a few example sentences that you can try to work out on your own. But remember, number one, let me write this down for you. Number one, find the speech tag. And then after you locate that speech tag, ask yourself, what is the person actually saying? What words are coming out of their mouth? And then that is going to be your dialogue. And remember, those quotation marks want to hug the dialogue. Goes in the front and goes at the end. All right, guys, until next time.